What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Kyrinthian back with another Let's Play of Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. So today, what I want to do is I want to start a Khuzait Let's Play, because I feel like they're just kind of underappreciated whenever it comes to the Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord community. Even though they're low-key kind of based, because they're based off of the Mongol Empire, and the Mongolian Empire was actually like, I'm pretty sure it was the largest contiguous mass covered by a single empire, and the only thing that ever got close to its size was the British Empire. Like, this thing stretched all the way from modern day Turkey and like South Sweden all the way to the Koreas and the eastmost part of China, which, if you think about it, is actually huge. And I'm pretty sure it also contained India. So like the just sheer mass, it was like 60% of Asia at least. The only thing that in Asia that wasn't conquered was like Japan, the Southeast Asian like islands, and the majority of Russia, just because Russia is stupid cold, and nobody would ever make the mistake of invading Russia, especially whenever it's cold. Anyways, I just want to do a campaign with a Khuzait because I think that they're based, and I'll get back to you once I get into the game. Alrighty, so here we are. I've finished creating him. This is him. His name is Kublai, because this was the grandson of Ghengis Khan. That was the name that was given to him. And I tried to focus most of my points into bow, riding, and I took a point in steward and tactics, because steward is just a pain to level. So let's see here. What do we want to take? I think we're going to take dead aim because it would help us in simulations, and we're going to have a lot of horse archers, because fun fact about Ghengis Khan's army is that every single one of his warriors had 3 to 5 mounts that they would use, because they would do forced marches a lot, and that way a horse wouldn't have to carry a guy for the entire time, and so they could rotate horses so they didn't get tired. So let's see, what else do I want to take? I think I'll go with this one, because there's a lot of heavily armored folks that we end up having to fight. And I'm going to take my point, my focus point, into Steward, just to help it level up faster. For those of you that don't know, Steward is the way that you get to grow your army just passively, rather than going all the way through and getting clan tiers. As you get to the higher clan tiers, is a little bit more important. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find somewhere to recruit some troops, and I'm going to make my way all the way over to the Khuzait territory, because those are the kind of troops that I want to be using. Yeah, that should be enough for us to get there safely. I don't think there's going to be a ton of large raider groups out there, so I'm just going to head straight up over here. And I chose our flag to be the horse archer because, you know, it's pretty obvious we're gonna end up having a lot of horse archers, and I plan on only having cavalry to stay true to the actual composition of Ghengis Khan's army. We should get some food as well. I just saw a large group of looters, so I'm gonna buy some more troops, even though I really don't want to. This hurts my pockets. I think while I'm here, I might as well do this tournament. For those of you that don't know, doing tournaments is a pretty good way to get renown. And renown is the way that you level up your clan tiers. I'll show you that in just a second once I get here. Now, if you go to the clan tab, it'll show up here. Basically, you just want to speed run your way to clan tier 1 by beating the crap out of looters, and depending on the size of your army, if you can get smaller groups of bandits or sea raiders or something like that. But you can see additional party size for every party in the clan, plus 15. That's the biggest way that you want to grow your army, and so I just want to speed run my way to that for now. And so I'm just gonna drop by this tournament, because sometimes they give you some pretty good rewards and it's really nice. Like this is a pretty expensive weapon, I think, and assuming that I don't have a better sword, I might take it, but if it's super expensive, I might just sell it anyways.
I'll tear your limbs!
I find the best way to actually like do well in these is to just block and immediately riposte, because they can't really do anything about it if you've just blocked them. But now that it's a 2-on-1, it's a little bit more difficult. I have to kind of wait for them to attack at the same time, or kite them well enough that one of them doesn't attack. How much health does this guy have? Dang. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, so if your teammate dies, it's just kind of an F in the chat because you're all on your own. And it's a real pain in the butt whenever you have to deal with them being on a horse or something like that. The 1v1s are a lot nicer. You can just block and immediately riposte and they can't do anything about it. Because if you get them on the defensive, they have to wind up and take their shield down, so it's really stupid. I also neglected to say that this is probably one of the best ways to actually make money at the beginning. Assuming that you don't die, I'm already expected to double how much money I put in, which is really nice. Because I just spent half my money recruiting troops that I needed to not get eviscerated on my way over to the Khuzait territory. And I'm also gonna need to buy food just because, you know, that's a necessity. So having excess money to do that, as well as getting an item from it, is actually really nice. So even like mid-game, sometimes it's a good idea to do this. And once you get companions, you can actually put them in the tournament too, or they'll join of their own will once you're in a city. And if you don't feel like doing it, you can just kind of skip and then like leave the tournament and like forfeit your round. And if they're a good combatant, like have high combat skills, they'll probably win it. And here you see you got 3 renown. You probably have to kill about 20 looters to get the same amount, so it's pretty nice. And I got 1500 for my bets, which is also very nice. I'm gonna check out how expensive this Wind's Fury is, see if I want to sell it. Yeah, I definitely want to sell that. I've got a saber right now. It does about 52 cut damage. This one is a lot better, but I just feel like the money right now is more important, and I can probably find another one somewhere else. And I'm also going to... Nah, horses are really expensive here, never mind. Because I'm going to be doing almost exclusively cavalry, I'm going to want to buy a lot of horses, and sometimes I can get a little out of hand. Alright, so here we found some forest bandits, and because we can corner them real quick, or at least I hope we can, yeah, I'm just gonna take this battle, because, I mean, it looks pretty even from here, but what you can do is, most of my troops are pretty low level at the moment, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick them off with bow and arrow because I have a horse. I'm gonna tell them to get into a shield wall because that's usually the best way to deal with infantry. But this is like really nice right now because we're behind a hill. Their archers can't really shoot us very easily. And so I'm just gonna start shooting at these guys with the bow and arrow, and I'm not exactly the best at it, but if I hit one of them, I'll probably do a fair amount of damage just because I have such a high level in the archery skill. Yeah, so it seems like most of them are archers, so I think I'm just gonna let them run into us then, because there's not a lot that I can do. I don't want to get shot with like 30 arrows, turn me into a porcupine. Yeah, as I come through, I can pick them off, hopefully. I'm gonna tell my guys to charge just because they're just gonna sit at max range with their bow and arrow while we're sitting here. And we don't have any people with shields, so we can't exactly just take that. So once we get in close range, I can just pull out my handy dandy saber and start cleaving at them while we fight. And the great thing about having a horse is that it makes it so much difficult, so much more difficult for the lower level troops to actually hit you. So yeah, it's a pretty good win. We only lost 2 guys and they were like basically worthless. We got about 2 renown from that. It was a pretty small fight, but you know, I'll take that. One thing that I like to do is any kind of food item that we get from these, I like to mark it in my thing because if you'll see here, the more types of food we have, the more morale bonus we get, and morale is pretty important in simulations. And so anytime that we see looters or something like that, we're just gonna run after them. And because these guys are low level, I'm just gonna throw my guys at them. Not a big deal, because I don't really care about these guys. See, I don't want to keep these guys for very long, so I don't think that I'm gonna upgrade them, because I'd like to keep my composition mostly from Khuzait troops. And we can start doing that now, which is really nice. So now that we're here, these Khuzait nomads, so there's a few, stupid tutorial, I don't care. There's a few paths that you can take with them. I'm always going to be taking this path because I would like to have a lot of cavalry, and the infantry kind of sucks in this game mostly. And so we can turn them into horse archers, heavy horse archers, or lancers. The nice thing about these is that they're so durable in like actual combat situations. It's so hard for other troops to kill them, just because they can run away so easily. I'll just drop off all my stuff here as well. Nice profit. So that's the really cool thing. And the other troops that you can get, I'll see if there are any here. There aren't. I'll just fill up on them. But one thing that you can get from certain villages are the Khuzait nobles. I'll see if I can find them real quick. Yeah, the Khuzait noble son. This one, you can get some really, really high tier horse archers. And so if you ever see these in your own playthrough of this game, you're definitely going to want to pick them up. But since there's another arena fight here, I'm just going to... Did not mean to do that. Just gonna pop into here and bet on this. These, I'm pretty sure these are actually like extremely expensive, so winning this one is gonna be really nice. The one thing that I hate about the Khuzait tournaments though is they put you on horses all the time, and horses are such a pain in the butt to fight on. Because it's such a struggle to actually like hit them, especially with these spears. And I don't have a bow with me, because they just neglected to give me one, I guess. It ends up turning into a mosh pit in one of the corners though. Should get a rave up in here. There we go, got one of them. Got another, got a third. Let's go. Oh, well, that went well. Somebody just shot the hell out of a horse. Alright, hopefully I can use a bow for this one. Javelins, okay. Can I, like, throw the javelin? There we go. Bitch. Get out my face. Hey. Bit true, didn't it? Alright, get over here. Coming for you. Yeah, take that. Uh-huh. Oh my god. And I'm out of javelins. How much longer until this dude's dead? Dude took like 7 spears to the back. What is he on? There we go. Yo, that was like some gladiatorial... Not gladiatorial. That was like some... Shit, what's it called? Jousting. God. My memory is just atrocious, I guess. Can I... Oh, why did they give me a spear, bro? Too 2 damage, bruh. Tell me that my guy's dead. Okay. No, he's just not helping me. Cool. Bro, I'm giving you such a good target. Just shoot them. Alright, cool. Alright, you best not die, bro. Alright, he's dying. I lost a tournament? I'm garbage. I'm so sad. I'm actually gonna cry. At least I got a level though, that was nice. A level in riding. I'll give him that. Okay, what should I put focus points into? Steward, immediately. Always just max out Steward as fast as you can because it takes so long to level in the late game. It's actually a pain in the ass. But yeah, after that mild disappointment, I'm gonna go and try to speed run all my way to Clan Tier 1 and show you what to do after that. Hey, I'm back. I'm not Clan Tier 1 yet, but I just found this hideout that I thought that I'd showcase. Don't want to take any of these guys. We're gonna take the guys that we want to level up. And so these are pretty cool. Basically all it is a hideout, and you just kind of like walk through the place and just murder the shit out of everybody. The go to F1, F3 usually does the trick. You can do it kind of stealthily if you like, if you're actually good at aiming, which I'm not. Yeah, they're pretty interesting to do, and I'm fairly sure that they give you a great renown amount. And the nice thing about it is that you always end up getting like a 9-on-1 fight. And I'm just garbage at hitting anything. I couldn't hit the wide side of a barn, dude. I can't even hit a guy when he's standing still. This is depressing. There we go. I actually hit someone. But yeah, it's basically just a bunch of screaming, yelling, beating the shit out of people. And at the end you get into a kind of duel situation, which I'll show you in just a second once we clear this out. Alright, yeah, so once you clear it out, they end up popping up with one of these guys. The big old leader dude. And you just kind of have to 1v1 him. And because the weapon that he's using is so slow, I can just kind of beat the crap out of him. I want his weapon though. I want that. Because this thing does so much damage, especially if you're on a horse, that it's like vital to have. And you saw that it gave me 5.6 renown. What do these guys turn into? Okay, so if you get any of the step bandits, you can actually turn them into the highest tier troops, which is pretty cool. Yeah, all these guys can turn into the highest tier troops, so you're gonna want to take those. And I went and bought some horses while I was off screen as well, so that I could actually level my guys up. And I'm gonna need war mounts soon, but I would like to wait until these guys. Oh dang, we got some good stuff from that. I'd like to wait until these guys can be recruited, because I just kind of get a lot of stuff from recruiting them, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just going to continue going, and I'll be back once I'm Clan Tier 1, or until something funny happens. Alrighty, so I finally made it to Clan Tier 2. Pretty cool. And because I pumped so many points into Steward, I'm now level 50 in it. Gonna go with that one. And so I think my party can hold up to 57 people right now, which is, I feel like it's a bit more than it normally would be able to. But the next step is to find whoever the leader is, and go to kingdoms, Khuzait, Monchug. It'll tell you, shut up. Okay. It should usually say somewhere in here where he was most recently spotted. Last seen near Sirotos Castle. Alright, so where is that? It's probably all the way up here. Yep. Alright, so I'm gonna zoom up there. And because I'm almost entirely cavalry, I've got really high speed right now. I'm gonna drop off these prisoners though. I just got a lot of looters that I gotta sell out. I didn't mean to hit that. And so basically what I did in the meantime was I went around trying to find things that were more expensive in one area, and typically tools is a really good one to do with that. And so like I was basically acting as a merchant and just taking out any looters that I came across, or any step bandits, or any of the higher level main enemies that you come across. And so you'll see in here, if you go to miscellaneous, it'll have all these rumors under it, and so whenever you go to larger cities, it'll have those rumors written, and so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to sell and where you want to sell it to. And I typically find that the area around here has pretty cheap tools that you can buy, and in the southern part of the area,
Yours is not a
you can sell them for like at least double the price. And so here I'm just trying to find a leader. I don't know if this guy will, you can, yeah. So basically you just want to find anybody that's prominent in the faction that you want to join, and you tell them that you want to be a mercenary, and they'll pay you for beating the shit out of looters basically. And so now that I'm here, the empire that we're at war with is, you know, kind of unhappy with us. And so I can kind of just chill here and wait for them to do the raid, and we should be able to take this place pretty easily. Otherwise, you know, I'll just join the army whenever somebody comes to sell them out. But doing this is probably the best way to build renown once you get to like the mid-game-ish area. Yeah, so I'm gonna help the army. Yeah, they've got like nobody at the garrison, so it should be pretty easy. Only lost one guy. Didn't get a lot of renown, but we got 4% of the loot, which is really cool. And we can get some troops from this, which is also really nice. Like the troops that were imprisoned there. And so that's also amazing. So now we're at our max capacity, which is pretty cool. And we're gonna leave, and I want to talk to this dude right here, because is it him? There's Monchug. I want to talk to him.
Yours is not a
because he's another guy that knows about the main quest line. Thank you. And if we chase these guys down, we should be able to beat them pretty easy. Maybe not. I might get imprisoned here, but you know what? I'm gonna fight this one. This might be pretty entertaining. Yeah, so that didn't go too well, gonna be honest. Whoops. Lost a lot of troops there. Actually, we didn't actually lose all that many, to be honest. care about infantrymen anyways. I think they're probably going to go hunt them down. That party is. I just want to build up my party again. So the nice thing about being a mercenary is that I just get paid now for beating the crap out of looters. And so it makes my life monumentally easier, because party wages end up costing a lot less whenever I'm getting paid for doing what I'm doing. I think after that loss, I'm probably gonna end it there. Yeah, they're gonna go besiege. I'm gonna hit up that besiegement in the next episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you decide that you want to. I'm not gonna tell you to or whatever, but it's up to you. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.